Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the Empowered Pause. I am your host, Rachel Chenoa J. Before we get started on this evening's discussion, just a little information about us. Speak Initiative is a nonprofit organization committed to combating the rise of suicide in our communities. SPEAK stands for Suicide Prevention Through Empowerment, Action, and Kindness. And as you can see by the banner that's scrolling below, we are still fundraising for the Empowered Pause and the other programs that SPEAK has already launched, which are the 90-day intensive and the Fearless Start. We also have some other programs in the works and some collaborations with other organizations that are coming up. If you would like to give or get more information about Speak Initiative and our programming, please visit our website at www.speaksuicideprevention.org, and you can find us on all social media platforms. So the Empowered Pause is one of the programs under our empowerment philosophy. We're here each and every Wednesday evening, and it's just a brief check-in where our speakers and our listeners take a moment to pause, connect, recharge, and possibly offer some empowering words or ideas or just space to be heard. So let's get into it. I hope everyone is doing well this evening, right? Every week we are on and we aim to have an empowering conversation or words of encouragement, like I mentioned. Today, I would like to start with the word pain, not physical pain, but emotional pain. Pain, and I'm sure most of us know what that is. Many of us live with it and are affected daily. That type of pain where it can be so deep that it alters your way of living, right? I know that there are a few of us who have experienced life in a way that it may have altered us and not for the better. I believe that we are ever evolving, which is through the good and the not so good. And most times we have no choice on how we're affected, but we just know that it isn't pleasant, it isn't good, and it's not any other descriptor that's on the spectrum of positive, right? Pain is usually what most of us spend time trying to avoid. Humans desire comfort, low stress, feeling good. I don't want any problems. I just want to go on and live my life and be fruitful while I'm doing so, right? Our, our entire culture is centered around feeling wanted, feeling accepted, feeling loved. So pain, it has no space or place in the equation. We don't want to deal with it. We don't choose it, however, but it chooses us. I don't believe that anyone is exempt from some form of emotional pain. I believe that at one point in our life, we're all going to have to deal with something that is challenging. It may not be a mental health crisis, so to speak, but you will have a challenging moment that will cause you to feel emotions that are just not pleasant. They can be painful. What we can choose, however, is how we use our pain. Speak Initiative is an organization built out of the darkest of my days, my past experiences, trauma, the lack of understanding, the fear that comes with not understanding, and then the healing work that I had to do and that I continue to do. It's accumulation of my attempt to turn pain into power, right? I watched a show recently because, of course, we all need some pause time or some downtime. And it happened to be an intense episode of the series that I watch. And throughout the episode, one of the characters kept mentioning to the victim, who was a young girl, that she could use her pain and it can be an anchor or a hammer. Now, the young girl, I believe she was 12 years old, she didn't understand what that meant at the time. So it was repeated in 3 different scenes. And in the final scene, the character explained that an anchor is something that holds you down, that keeps you stuck in a place. And a hammer, however, is a tool that can be used to break down that pain, to break through the wall, or even build something new in replace of the pain or in spite of the pain. In that moment, I realized that I was doing the latter. I sometimes feel like I don't have choices in my actions, and sometimes I'm on autopilot a lot of the time. But I know that's just old language dying hard for me. I and you totally have a choice and choices And what I do know is that Speak Initiative is me and that I am Speak Initiative. I am transforming my pain and building something that I desperately needed during my challenging moments. The work that we aim to do with peer to peer support, goal setting, mental health care awareness, and partnering with other organizations is imperative in our community. It's hard to watch another person suffer in a way that you may be familiar with. So, I have a few questions for you. Are you in pain emotionally? Is there something that's weighing you down? Is there something that's you can't deal with alone? You may need some help. You may need a peer. You may need a therapist. We may need, you know, more self care, things like that. Speak is available for you. Um, if you are in pain, is there a way to turn it into something that can be helpful and not hinder you? Ask yourself what may need to be different for you so that you can possibly transform the weight of being in pain into the fuel that moves you. Nothing is overnight, but we can always start somewhere. There's no reason for us to not have whole, healthy lives just because living has hurt us a bit. So today, I just wanted to give a bit of empowerment again, with a bit of transparency. I'm not saying that the pain is totally gone, and that it wasn't a process to get to this point. But I truly believe that if I could find purpose in my pain, then there's hope for another. I encourage you to speak what pain may be hindering you so that you can begin to heal, break down, and build something fulfilling for yourself. And even if that's just a bit more self care, like I said, because that's something we all need, right? So use your resources to help you through. And if you need a space or a place to put your words or to begin the conversation, Speak Initiative is definitely available. I want to thank you so much for being here this evening. I hope this moment has helped empower or encourage you or another who you may share this with. Feel free to like, react, comment, share so that we can reach as many people who may benefit from our services as possible. Until next week, take care. Thank you so much.